Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. As you all know, I'm Basby and this is Basby TV. And we're doing Loving Hip Hop New York Season 2, Episode 6, Bottle Service for the throwback review session. Yes, let's get into it. So the show opens up. It's Jim and Joelle. Joelle's finally made the appearance and they are at the dealership because Joelle lost a bet. So because he lost the bet to Joelle's dared him to buy an all-white car because Jimmy does not like white cars. So Jimmy finds like this, I want to say it was an Audi or whatever, some foreign car, who knows. So he buys the car and he was like, jokes on Joelle's because he said I had to buy a white car. He did not say I had to keep it white after I bought it. Loopholes. So he gets home, and as soon as he pulled up, here go Chrissy pulling out, coming up out the house. So Jim was like, oh man, I don't feel like this shit today. So she was like, what is this? Who car is that? So he tried to put it off on Joelle's, and she was like, so if I call Joelle right now, he's gonna tell me that's his car. And he's like, well, it's my car, but what's the problem? And she was like, well, why would you spend all this money on a car? And he was like, nobody be saying nothing to you when 10 pairs of shoes come to the house. And she was like, oh, so you're comparing shoes to a car? And he said, yes, because if you're buying $6,000 shoes, then that's a down payment for a said car. And so I'm looking like, he kind of got a point there. $6,000 shoes, that is a down payment for a very nice car. So, okay, Jim, you had a little point there. So Chrissy was wanted to keep going on, and Jim's like, you know what, you right. I don't feel like arguing with you today. And so Chrissy is basically like, she wants him to grow up. And what Chrissy is really hot about is, you just dropped this money on a car, and I still don't got a ring. And that's a big problem for her. Understood, Chrissy? Understood. Chrissy, Emily, and Tiara are at lunch, and Chrissy tells them about the meet with Kim. And she is just like, when she walks up, she's dressed a certain way, but Kim is dressed basically in fighting clothes. So she really didn't know how to perceive what Kim had going on. But she's like, when she got there, they kind of squashed it. She said, I really ain't got no problem with the girl. Which I'm looking like, Chrissy, you saying you squashed it, but on the scene, you really did not squash that shit. But whatever. You was like, you cool. And so Emily was just like, I prejudged this girl because this girl give off slutty appearance. And it's like, you got your whole life off of being a slut. So that's just how I viewed you. And so Tiara was like, I have been in Kimbella's shoes where women have judged me because of how I look and how I presented myself. So she wants to talk to Kimbella on her own to get her own opinion of Kimbella, which I think is like the best thing to do. And that was very mature of Tiara to do, because I shouldn't sit here and just listen to what y'all talking about this girl. Let me go find out for myself. Chrissy meets up with a designer to create Jim's outerwear line. Remember, Jim, like a few episodes ago, wanted to start a clothing line and put Chrissy in charge of the outerwear part of it because he feels like Chrissy needs to find something to do so she can stop getting into it with these women. So that's what Chrissy's doing. She comes up with the logo, the design, and puts together some samples for the clothing line. So Jim do come through and he's looking at the clothing line. He's very happy with it and puts into motion the rest of the production. So at this point, Chrissy's like, I don't want to just do this off of me supporting you. I want a piece of the business. I want it to be written down on paper. And Jim is just like, oh, well, I can't really tell you that right now because I'm not the only one on this project. I have a partner in it. We're 50-50, so I would need to go to my partner first, see what he's talking about. And you're like my partner in this by default, basically because you're my girlfriend, and so you should just do the designs. That pisses Chrissy off because she's just like, okay, here we go once again with you just cannot fully commit anything to me. Like, you just expect me to do all this just because I'm your girl. So at this point, Chrissy is over it. And I'm like, Chrissy, don't you mean not nan the design? Okay, well, you got them little bit from me. But until we sign some type of formality papers on what my payment's gonna be for this stuff and what's my part in this is, don't make no other design. That's how I feel. So Yandy meets up with Erika. This is when we meet Erika Mena for the first time. Erika is a model. She did videos. She did ad campaigns all over the place. So a lot that I didn't know that Erika Mena actually did. So they meeting up for dinner because Erika wants Yandy to manage her singing career. Pause. Yandy. This is when I see what Chrissy be talking about, what you just be bandwagging all these girls and all these people. If you managing a Jim Jones, don't get me wrong, Jim Jones is not the hottest thing out, but he still got a name. And now we about to try to manage this model turned singer without knowing if model turned singer actually has talent. Yeah, this is what Chris be like, you just trying to run up a bag. Because what else could you possibly be doing with this girl but trying to catch a bag? So while they're talking, somehow Cambella's name gets brought up. Don't remember. And Erika seems to have a problem with Cambella because she feels like girls like Cambella make it hard for her in the industry because they do a lot of stuff for free. And they start getting into the whole conversation about how the video girls went from being like this top tier type of person to be, and everybody want to be that. So more girls was coming into the situation and doing shit for free, which really basically dismantled the whole video girl occupation for the most part, because them girls were paid. Like, they was almost as sought after as the rappers were. So, you know, she kind of, you could feel a little animosity there, if I must say so myself. But anywho, we shall carry on. Olivia meets up with Tiara because she's concerned about Emily. She feels that Emily is going back to Fabulous, and Tiara, you're her friend, so you need to talk to her because she's just like, why go back to this man? Here we are congratulating you for becoming a single woman, getting out on your own, handling your own, being independent, not, you know, fall behind this dude who is publicly embarrassing you and probably embarrassing you because it's always something being said about him cheating on you. And even if only a select few people know that's your man, the select few people, it's like, girl, you see your man is in the gossip columns again for yet another woman. Olivia just can't get down with it. And Tiara's like, yeah, I understand. And yeah, that's my friend. And I be wanting to say something to her, but I don't want to rain on her parade. And I'm looking like, Tiara is too young for what y'all want her to do. Because I want to say at this time, Tiara ain't nothing but, I think, like 21, might be 23 at the time of this taping. So I'm like, she's just a little too young for what y'all got going on. And Tiara mind, she probably like, fuck him, and fuck all of them. Like, just fuck everybody. Be free. Like, that's what she's doing. So, like, I don't think she's the right one for y'all to go to try to settle the situation with Emily and Fabulous. Chrissy is feeling some type of way about Jim and his lack of commitment. So she goes to talk to her Aunt Cookie and her Uncle Ralph because she doesn't have any parents. She lost her parents years ago, both her parents. So that's who she has to communicate with. And she's just talking to her Aunt Cookie about everything that's going on in the relationship. And her aunt brings up about the whole engagement. And she's like, see, that's the problem. It's like, I'm not going to keep asking him to marry me. And the aunt just let her know, like, guys are really scared when it comes to commitment. Especially that one. Because it's like, if the relationship is already going good, why would I mess it up with a marriage? And that's really how she feels. And that's how Chrissy feels, is that why he's not marrying her, because they already play house. I'm already living with you. I already do all the wifely duties. So why is he gonna marry me? And maybe that's what you need to just understand, Chrissy. Like, stop doing all of that. Like, I ain't gonna say you gotta move out, but nigga, I wash the clothes. You better fold them shits. I'm not folding your clothes too. I'm not cooking you a hot meal every night for you to come home to. You're not coming home to a clean house every day because that's not my job. Like, if I live here, I'm cleaning up because I need to clean up. But, Jim, if you made that mess, go clean your mess up. If I done wash the dishes, nigga, put them shits up. Like, don't give him everything. She suggests, her Aunt Cookie suggests that Jimmy talks to the uncle. And Chrissy was like, she thinks that's going to be a good idea. So she brings it up to Jim, saying, I feel like you got a lot going on. I feel like maybe you should speak to my uncle Ralph because maybe he can help you. And Jim's looking like, I really ain't got nothing to talk to this guy about, but okay, I'll go see him. So he meets up with the uncle, and the uncle, they just really just sharing how they met their girls. And he was like how he took Cookie from another boy. And Jim was like how he had a crush on Chrissy for so many years, and then he saw her in Miami, and she walked up to him, and it's been them ever since. And the uncle was, basically like, hey, the Cookie had proposed to him instead of the other way around. She proposed to him. And now we see what Chrissy gets like this like determination, like die hard, like if you want something, go get it. Because her aunt did it. And Jim realizes at that moment what the problem was with the car. It wasn't the fact of you getting the car. It's the fact that you could have spent the money on that car, could have went to me getting a ring. And we see what was more important. What was more important was you buying a car. So Jim takes that into consideration. Reese meets with Yandy because he's stressed over Olivia. He's like, any other girl who would have been pretty, can dance, have so many views on YouTube, have so many followers, and this and that, would have had a record deal by now. But unfortunately, Olivia don't have one. And he just don't know how much longer he can do this. And Yandy basically tells him that you need to stay into it and don't give up on her, because at the end of the day, this is a weird industry. 1 minute she's hot, 1 minute she's not, 1 minute she could be hot. And you don't want somebody else to reap the groundwork that you put into her and reap all those benefits. And she was like, I just feel that Olivia, as everybody has been telling Olivia has to open up and give us more of her if she wants to make it in this industry. She is not just based off your talent alone. You're closed off. And I'm not going to say you have to give your whole life, because we all know Beyonce has a whole career and we really just starting to get a peak. Like, I'm looking in the windows and the blinds is just slightly open into her life. So I'm not saying that you have to spill all your beans, but just maybe a little bit to just put you on the map, basically. Olivia meets up with her cousin, Jackie, and she's just sitting with her having wine, and they're talking about their problems with their mothers. And her cousin, Jackie, lets her know, like, yeah, I can understand your mother probably was nasty. My mother was the same way. So I can only imagine what those letters were saying. But you need to talk to your mother, because that trauma is going to roll over into when you have a child. And that's the problem that her cousin Jackie is having with her own child. Like, she's trying to keep the trauma from her mother away from her daughter. And I feel like us as young black girls, I think we all have that issue where we try not to bring the trauma that our mothers put us through into like our next relationships and with our children, stuff like that. So I do feel like, yeah, her cousin is definitely right. Olivia, you need to talk to your mother. So Olivia agrees that she's going to talk to her mother, but she thinks she's going to put it in a song. And I was like, you know what, Olivia, that's what you need to do. Since she want to write goddamn letters all the damn time and not say what the problem is face to face so we can talk about it, I'm going to write you a motherfucking love song, bitch. And you going to hear everything that I got to say about your ass. Now, that's probably not the way she was going to take it. But I'm just saying, do it. And maybe you'll have a hit off of it. Who knows? We don't know. Kim invites Tiara and Yandy to this little winery place. And Tiara's there first. And she's just getting the idea of Kim and talking to her and realizing, like, Kim is really not this bad of a person. And she lets Kim know, like, hey, I have been on your side of the fence before. People didn't like me because I'm overtly sexy. You're overtly sexy. And she was like, I had to learn to calm it down some so that people can really understand who is the real me. So once they get that situated, here go Yandy coming in with Erika. And Yandy acting like she's so motherfucking confused or why it's a problem that she brought Erika. Because I'm looking like, okay, bitch just said she didn't like him. She don't like Kim for whatever reason. She feel like Kim messes with her money as a video girl or a model or whatever because of the type of modeling that Kim does. So she already let you know from the jump that she really didn't like this girl. But I guess she was gonna be super yandy and make a friendship out of this. And I didn't see it. But okay, here we go. So Erika sits down and her and Tiara is talking like she's explaining everything that she do and she was like, yeah, we was both up for the same role for the lottery ticket, but Tiara gets the role. And so Kim was like, okay, well I see everybody, it's like a little connection here. I see that. And Erika was like, yeah, I know you too. And Kim was like, you do? I don't know you. And she was like, yeah, out of Miami. I met you before. I know who you are. So Kim was like, I'm confused because I don't know who you are. And that's when she started popping off about the fact that, oh, yeah, in the modeling circuit. She's like, oh, okay, so we both model. She said, well, I consider what I do modeling. I consider what you do soft porn. Wait a minute. Okay, so we just go do, do. Oh, like, okay, shots fired. Here we go. So Kim looking a little confused, like, okay, so do I know you? Because I don't know you, and you popping off at me. So they going basically tip back and forth between each other. Kimbella confused as a fuck. Erika riled up as a fuck. And Tiara looking at damn Yandy like, Yandy, can you pipe her down? Because she see a situation about to happen. Yandy sitting there like, well, what's going on? What's going on? Now I see why later on in the seasons, Kimbella wants to whoop your ass, Yandy. Because at the end of the day, you just met Erika. You just met her. You know Kim. That's your pud as you put it. Bitch is talking reckless to your fucking friend. Pipe her down. Pipe her down. Tell her, yo, not that one. Talk to anybody else reckless, but not that one. That's my bitch. You're not gonna talk to her like that. No, you still sitting there like confused as a fuck, sipping your wine. So then after Kimbella had said something about Jewel's, oh, you the baby mama, and he be on to the next bitch later. Da da da. Oh, that's when that's my brother. You talking about my brother? Bitch, shut your pick me ass up. Shut your pick me ass up, Yandy. That shit pissed me off because I was like, okay, so she just said all kind of shit about your friend, and you have not said a fucking thing yet. And I could understand why you did not jump into that shit with her and Chrissy because you have ties with Jim. That's who makes you your money. So I can understand you not jumping in with that. But this bitch that we don't know, slap that hoe, bitch. So after some more words gets exchanged, the drinks get thrown, and the hands start going off. Well, more than pulling hair and scratching each other up. I don't know if they scratched each other up or did the fall scratch them up. Whatever the point is, both of them came out the brawl with some scratches. So Erika sees her face and is mad as a fuck because her face got a scratch on it. So she wants to call the police on Kimbella and press charges. So Kimbella, Yandy, and Tiara make a run for it because they hear the police coming, so they go on here and make a run for it. And I'm looking like, Erika, that shit weak as fuck. You came in on that rah shit, talking shit, popped off on this girl, popped in her face, and now you want to call the police? Make it make sense. I don't understand. But they end up getting away. I don't know whatever happened. And that was the end for that episode. That episode had, had a little pop off to it. It had some serious moments, a little ratchet moments. I was enjoying it. But that's the end of it. So until next time, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. And see you later. Bye.